দর্শক আমন্ত্রণ চ্যানেল 24 এর নিয়মিত আয়োজন জানতে চাই শুনতে চাইতে। আজ আমরা কথা বলবো জলবায়ু পরিবর্তন এবং বিকল্প কর্মসংস্থান নিয়ে। আর এই বিষয়ে কথা বলার জন্য অতিথি হিসেবে আমাদের স্টুডিওতে উপস্থিত হয়েছে ডেপুটি ডিরেক্টর ইকোনমিক গ্রোথ অফিস USAID মিস্টার নেথান সেইজ, ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো। আছেন জনাব গোলাম মোর্শেদ, ম্যানেজিং ডিরেক্টর পেবলস, আপনাকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। এবং আরও আছেন মিস্টার জন ডর, চিফ অফ পার্টি USAID CREL প্রজেক্ট। হ্যালো অ্যান্ড ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো। Yeah. And before we get into the discussion, let's watch the video clip that will give us an idea, broad idea, what the issues we're going to talk about. Let's look at the clip.
সুইসতই বোনা হচ্ছে সাফল্যের গল্প। নিভৃত পল্লীর এক ঝাঁক নারী সামান্য এই উপকরণগুলোকেই রূপ দিচ্ছে শিল্পে, যা এখন কেবল এদেশের নয়, প্রায় পুরো বিশ্বের গর্ব। সুন্দরবন ঘেঁষা জেলা সাতক্ষীরার মুন্সীগঞ্জে এই কাজে জড়িয়ে প্রায় হাজারখানেক নারী, যারা সংসারের কাজের বাইরেও হাতে নিয়েছেন সুই সুতা বাড়তি আয়ের আশায়। সে আশাকেও অনেকখানি বাস্তবে রূপ দিয়েছে এসব খেলনা তৈরির কাজ। কেবল তাই নয়, পিছিয়ে পড়া এসব অঞ্চলে সংসারের আয়ের জন্য একক নির্ভরতাও কমেছে সময়ের ব্যবধানে।
আগে তো আয় রোজগার হতোই না, ঠিক মতো খেতেই পাতাম না। বনের ওপারে কত সময় আয় করা যায়, কারণ বাঘ ভাল্লুকের ভয়ে তো মানুষ তো সবসময় তো বনে বাজার থাকতে, বাঘ ভাল্লুক বনদস্যু এর ভয়তে তো মানুষ সবসময় তো চলাফেরা করতে পারেন বা আয় করা যায় না। ওদের দেখা যাচ্ছে আমাদের খুব কষ্টকর হয়ে যেত। কিন্তু এখন আমরা এই পুতুল বানানোর কাজটা পেয়ে এখন আমাদের অনেকগুলো আমরা উপকৃত হয়েছি। আমাদের বাচ্চাদের স্কুলের পোশাক বা বাচ্চারা যখন তখন দেখা যাচ্ছে যে মায়ের কাছে আদর করে যে মা আমার 10টা টাকা দাও, 5টা টাকা দাও, কিন্তু এগুলো তো পুরীদের কাছে তখন আয় না থাকলে কোথাও তো দেবে তারা। আর তারপরে আমাদের মহিলাদের তো পোশাক পরিচ্ছদ জিনিসপত্র তো নিজেদের কিনতেও ইচ্ছা হয়, কিন্তু সেগুলো আমরা নিজেরা এখন আয় করে নিতে পারছি।
নারীদের কর্মসংস্থান এবং পরিবারকে সহায়তার এই উদ্যোগ বেশ কয়েক বছরের। নান্দনিক সব পুতুল আর খেলনা তৈরি অনেকের জীবনকেও করে তুলেছে রঙিন।
USAID আসার পরে আমাদের লাভ হয়েছে যে আমাদের এই যে কাজগুলো আমাদের হাত দিয়েছে, এই কাজগুলোর মধ্যে আগে তো আমরা বনে খালি সবসময় পড়ে থাকতাম, তখন তো আমরা শান্তিতে বাস করতে পারতাম না। এখন দেখা যাচ্ছে যে আমরা এই কাজটা পেয়ে আমরা ঘরে বসে কাজকাম করতে আর একটু বিশ্রামও করতে পারছি, যার ফলে আমরা অনেক শান্তিতে আছি।
This is an important country for us, and it's an important country because this is a place where things are happening. I mean, and it's testimony to the hard work and the enterprising nature of the people. You know, the pace of change here is incredible, and it's really this is a great place to do development because there's such wonderful people to work with.
জলবায়ু পরিবর্তনের জন্য যাদের মাথা গোঁজার ঠাঁই ছিল না, তাদের অনিশ্চিত জীবনে এখন প্রশান্তির ছাপ স্পষ্ট। নারীর অগ্রযাত্রায় সহযোগিতা করছে আন্তর্জাতিক দাতা সংস্থা USAID।
So in this clip we have seen that how these women changed their life, making toys with their hands, and it's very raw format, very traditional format, but now it's world famous. I would like to know that when really this great idea generated, it's kind of it's how they're dependent to not to their husband but they're earning, their family is now independent, now they can survive, they can fulfill their children's dream, and their life is much easier than the past time. How the idea generated, I didn't know the story.
Thank you very much. I'll take 3-4 seconds while the clip was going on. I get emotional. When I see that type of scene, it is in my heart. Idea was simple, but execution was tough. As a Pebble is our brand, Hate Bunano is an organization, is a social enterprise. We started 2005. Climate resilient livelihood project, which has been funded by USAID. And CREL was they're looking for the private sector to be engaged in.
Okay.
And you know, climate change is not quoted anymore. It is a worldwide, and it's a problem. And to be honest with Bangladesh, on the verge of, on the terms of disaster on that line. I thank our government, our Prime Minister, and our leaders on this line. They've taken this issue very seriously. Now, as a private sector, we come into it that USAID has been funded this organization to CREL. CREL was doing work in that area for many, many years. But what engagement to be done to make alternate earning, that was the issue. I'm not saying that I'm the part of the whole solution. They picked me up the little bit part of the solution. So they're looking for good partners who can engage. It is easy to say from air conditioned room to let us chalo amra Sonar Bangla gori. But who will do the Sonar Bangla?
Right.
It is the buzzword, we are a newly born nation, and problem still exists in the rural area. But particularly bottom of Bangladesh, where Sundarban is a verge of collapse. It is our heritage, it is our site, it was beyond that, it is our life. Millions of people live that area. So when we have been called in, we discuss how to take, we are all over Bangladesh, but to go to the particular area, a lot of challenge came up. But CREL really gave us a little bit encouragement to go there, let's see what can do. Little bit. We not said that they are fully equipped yet, but we created a little bit of opportunities. They come out not to go and chop the trees anymore, Sundarban,
right.
Not to kill wildlife anymore. Now, we have the win-win situation with CREL, but it is working. First of all, it was workable, now it is working. And it has to go a long way to resolve, to make a real Sundarban south of Bangladesh.
Nathan, I'd like to know your feeling and your view from as you work for USAID.
Sure. It's a beautiful project. I mean, you can see the women hard at work, very earnestly trying to produce things to support their family. You also see beautiful products, which in general makes the customer then very happy. And it's this linkage between that producer and the customer that is, in essence, what you see here. It is brilliant. And oftentimes, so from our perspective, from the USAID perspective, we're seeking to invest in solutions that protect the environment. So we've been investing in Bangladesh now for nearly 20 years. We're working in over 30 or so different protected areas, forests, wetlands, rivers, and even in the marine area. And oftentimes our approach is to support the resilience of the environment by decreasing the amount of pressures on the environment. So we focus on communities that are living, what we say, next to or inside that area that we're trying to protect. Those livelihood interventions, however, oftentimes are supporting them and their ability to eat, but also their ability to make money. We bring that together with other types of on-farm and non-farm support. So this isn't all of what we do when we go into communities, but it is a crucial element of that total solution for the community.
Right. Mr. John, how do you, how Windrock is working in between both of them? And I'd like to know the story.
Thank you. Well, I think one of the most important features here are the partnerships that have been forged to make this work. And I really see it as a four-way partnership. We have Hate Bunano as the private sector with their corporate social responsibilities and objectives. We have a development partner, USAID, and CREL, the implementing partner, with our objectives. The government's not here today, but they have conservation and resource protection objectives. And finally, we have the communities themselves, which are leaders as well as the members. And this is an example of how we've worked together with these partnerships to forge and leverage our capacities and our shared objectives to the outcome of social, economic benefits for community members, empowerment for women, also the achievement of conservation and protection of natural resources and social stability. It's a multifaceted partnership with a number of multiple outcomes that are all part of our development objectives.
Okay, the discussion will be going on. Now it's time for our first break. দর্শক, আমরা আলোচনা করছিলাম জলবায়ু পরিবর্তন নিয়ে এবং বিকল্প কর্মসংস্থান নিয়ে। সাথে থাকুন, ফিরছি একটু পরে। আমন্ত্রণ আরো একবার আজকে জানতে চাই শুনতে চাইতে কথা বলছিলাম জলবায়ু পরিবর্তন এবং বিকল্প কর্মসংস্থান নিয়ে Nathan, I'd like to know that how USAID got involved with this particular sector, I mean with the business sector, and how the capacity has been developed for the woman who is making the toys for the world.
So in the bigger picture, the U.S. government is the largest donor for biodiversity conservation globally. So we're focused on working in the areas that have the critical biodiversity, whether they be the keystone species like the tiger, or they have unique habitats like the Sundarban mangrove, or in aquatic ecosystems, which you have here in Bangladesh. It's of great global interest that we protect these rare resources for future generations. To do that, we have to ask the people who are living in these places to sacrifice a bit in order to protect that resource. But as you can see, oftentimes in these areas, the people are very poor. And it's not fair to ask them to do something for which we want when they have to make the sacrifice to do that. So in some regards, then, we have efforts to build their resilience and their livelihood support in order to achieve the larger objective that we're looking for, which is to protect the environment.
Mr. John, I'd like to know that how the idea really came to talk to the women. Also, you want to know what they want to do, and you delivered this discussion and the ideas to both of them. Am I right?
That's correct. That's correct. We worked very closely with Morshed at the very beginning of the program. We started out with what might have been, or what is called, a value chain approach. But rather than the traditional approach where you develop skills and products and then try and find a market for it, instead we worked with Hate Bonanu and identified the market ahead of time. And then together we determined what types of skills and other resources would the women, the producers, need in order to produce products that could be sold in those markets. So we worked together hand in hand through this process from the very beginning, rather than some other approach. And that very highly directed, anticipatory type of approach worked very, very well. I don't know how unique it was, but certainly I had not seen it here before.
Right, that's great. I mean, Mr. Morshed, I'd like to know that how big is the market?
5 years ago, there is an estimated market. It must have grown now. I haven't got the data with me. Or worldwide, this type of product, what we have done research and know that handcrafted, high-quality handcrafted market, nearly $100 billion worldwide a year. 100 billion. It must have now 150. That is conservative costing. Now, if you would have, as a Bangladeshi enterprise, if we with that market, we get 10%, you calculate. What I'm to bring out the subject, one point, Nathan has mentioned that, look, Bangladesh is making a lot of things for many, many years.
Right.
Wonderful product. We had a Nokshikata, we had a lot of things. These are our jute product, is gone globally. Comparing that, world is looking at us. And we have to be high quality product. Bangladesh, we cannot produce Bangladesh. Oh, nobody buys this product anywhere in the world, as we have penetrated almost 38 countries globally, and more is growing. Now, to get into the market, nobody is buying any product. Oh, sorry for Bangladesh. Product speaks itself.
Okay.
We are making world-class product. Who is making? Our Bangladesh artisans are making.
But can we buy that in Bangladesh? Is it available?
Well, this is very much question. Yes, you can buy online. We try to do it. It is very expensive to, as a producer, we tried a little bit on the market. Yes, we'd love to have shops, but as a man, through you, we might ask good entrepreneurs, other private sector to start up shops. Even globally, they want us to be chain shops. But we think we are small. We are very carefully, we are progressing. Because market is changing worldwide. So world is waiting to receive the best product because competition is high in the world. Regional, Asia, beyond that, market is tough. Market is not easy, my friend.
Yes.
So we are very careful. And as a thanks to the partner partners. Partners has always give us little bit, not like we are not funded organization. Nathan, correct me. We just partners with little bit help our training program. They come and support, but market linkage beyond and is sustainable. We are doing two-tier stuff, looking after that, not to chop the trees, same time sell our product globally. We are working day and night. Look, my hair gone grey since last 14 years. So we have to concentrate ourselves the product change mode and how to attract the world market.
You want to add something?
I do. So interesting thing, what you said about the market is completely true. But I want to go back to the producer for a second. And I think the pictures that you had earlier speak directly to it. We're talking about households that make less than $1 a day.
Right.
And we're asking them to do extraordinary things with very little money. And so by basically providing them the opportunity to have an alternative source of income in their home allows them to provide other inputs to their household to build their resilience. So the other model could be that they migrate to the city and they become sort of working in the textile factory. But how does that support their baby or their elderly parent or their husband who may go off for a long time as a fisherman or a forest gatherer? And so these things help to build the resilience at the household level. And as a community, it also keeps young people in the community with more alternative money to spend locally.
Right.
It's a holistic approach.
Definitely. And you want to add something?
Yeah, I'd like to build on what Nathan just said, which is the benefits that come from from this particular program. Commonly, when we have visits of VIPs, we go to the Pebble groups and we ask them, what do you do with the extra income? And inevitably, the women say, we use it for health, for food, for education, and that's where the money's going. My colleague Morshed is much too humble to point out the other benefits that have come from the contributions of his group, which include you've constructed 126 training centers. They also have 6 preschools at which the children of the women who are working, as Nathan said, during normal work hours around the households, the children are going to school, the preschoolers going to school. And if you ask the women, has there been an increase in in the social standing and the respect that you receive within your own family and with your own community? The answer is always yes, to the point that we hear other communities saying, oh, we would like to do the same thing. So this is scaling itself up of its own initiative and accord.
Yes, we are really into the discussion, but it's time for another break. দর্শক, আমরা আলোচনা করছিলাম আসলে এই ছোট ছোট পুতুল হাতে তৈরি করে পুতুল দিয়ে কিভাবে মানুষের জীবন বদলে যাচ্ছে এবং সেই বদলে যাওয়া জীবন দিয়ে কিভাবে মানুষজন এগিয়ে যাচ্ছে, বিশেষ করে সুন্দরবন এবং তার আশেপাশে যে মানুষগুলো থাকছে। এই আলোচনা চলতে থাকবে, তবে সময় হলো একটি বিরতির। সাথে থাকুন, ফিরছি একটু পরে। দর্শক, আমন্ত্রণ আরো একবার জানতে চাই, শুনতে চাইতে কথা বলছিলাম জলবায়ু পরিবর্তন এবং বিকল্প কর্মসংস্থান নিয়ে। Mr. John, I'd like to know, there is a value chain, and what really happens when something in disaster takes place?
We haven't had that experience with the Pebble Child products yet. The market seems to be, I don't know if it's unlimited, but there's certainly been no restrictions to it right now. It's basically one, I think, that's in its early stages, and it can be expanded out. Certainly the project is replicating this model in other sectors. And I'd like, just quickly digressing just for a moment, one of the primary purposes of this program that we've set up with USAID's direction and Morshed was to target households that were formerly very heavily dependent on natural resource extraction and redirect them to environmentally and socially sustainable livelihoods. And so far, we haven't seen any limit to this process, both within this particular value chain sector as well as many, many others. So we're optimistic that this can be repeated over and over again if we can find good partners such as Morshed.
Right. And also this help them not really dependent on the nature, as there's some kind of natural disaster that happens and they are free now. At least they can earn more money and spend money for the families. Am I
Yes,
right?
you're absolutely right. It helps remove them, build resiliency, so to speak, to events, natural or otherwise, that are outside of their control. If they have money, they have more resources, they have more control over their future and their well-being.
Yeah, Nathan, in this particular point, you want to add something.
So, three things. It builds hope,
Yeah.
where oftentimes there is none. It builds dignity within the household so they can feel as if they're actually doing something to address the issue. And thirdly, it builds their empowerment to feel like they're actually contributing to bettering their family and their community. So it allows them the opportunity to work when they want to work, to make as many as they want to make, to use the talent, the hidden talent that they didn't know that they had, and to really feel like they're contributing to society. What better thing than to do this kind of work?
Mr. Morshed, as Bangladesh is well known for the RMG sectors, and these handicraft are not really the RMG products, but it's a handicraft. It's a very good product, and it has a very big demand, giant demand in the world market. Who are our competitors? Because you are bringing the product to the world.
World market is changing market, we have to think. And changing market where you fit in. The product we are producing is a green product.
Right.
We're neither using a machine, no sharp needles, no chemicals, nothing. So we are 100% green product we are doing. We are not wasting any soil, these, that, and others. Our center,
Absolutely harm-free.
Absolutely harm-free. Now, what happens? We are in the rural center. Now, coming to the, I'll conclude different, that little bit emotional structure, but practically, Bangladesh has established infrastructure good. Government has done that one. You think about the regional, where we can access even the China to go to the rural area, tough one to go. We all run to China to make the cheap products. No, China moved out from there. From China, textile came here. Sorry, but the garments industry, textile, you know the wastage. You know the leather wastage.
That's huge.
That is huge. Now, we are ahead of the game because that we are absolutely homely environment, absolutely community-based. We are not wasting nothing. On natural light we are working. What else Bangladesh could give to industrialists or business people to do in that area? As John has mentioned, and as a big development partners, they've been doing work in this country many, many years. But why they picked up at this stage? Bangladesh is also turning and going up. But our bottom of the bottom has been ignored in different ways. I'm not saying that. Don't think that I'm critical here. Many NGOs and others into the market. Why they have come to us? Garments industry gone up in a lot of difficulties, criticism, these, that, but they're shining. We don't want to take that because we are using very vulnerable people, very vulnerable area. We have to respect that. Bangladesh is no longer rural people like to have something and take a picture. They want to earn money.
Right.
Often our Prime Minister said, go on for what? Who's going to deliver her words? We have to take initiative. Private sector get into the, roll up their shoes, take your genji or pajama or lungi, sit down with these people, talk to them people, we'll get it over with. There is no challenge for us. Often partners said, why Satkira is difficult area, Teknaf is difficult area, what will happen? We are already there, and inshallah, with helping good friends, good support, and people like you, what you are producing us. We never had any award, brother. We never had any, yes, Queen of England awarded Samantha for hard work. But
That's
from
great.
here, nobody given us anything. We are not for it. No export price, this, that, CIP or anything. We don't care. We are working with the rural people.
Right.
I'm with them. I'm making the best product of the world. So
Can you beat the RMG sector of Bangladesh?
why not? RMG sector has got their own problem. Donors offer out this worker problem. These are all resolving problem, my friend. It can be resolved. If they don't want to resolve, that is their problem. On my sector, I'm working with them. I don't drive BMW. Sorry, maybe somebody will add into it. I go there, talk to them. I studied in university, I studied abroad. But my heart and soul with my villagers here. Sound a little bit political, but that is the practical approach. USAID, CREL approached very positive way. I thank them again. They look into the matter to the bottom. We are not doing microfinancing, nothing. But I hope this thing has been happening in Bangladesh. Yesterday I went to Rural Center. Look, a badge has given me a freedom fighter. His daughter is working in my stand. Tomorrow, the 1st of February, my father was a language movement veteran. Every Bangladeshi has to have heart and soul that we should go and the people who doesn't have anything do for them. That is their duty. If they don't, it is their problem. But people are not begging anymore. People have got strengthening. They love this country, non-secular system. In my center, Hindu, Christian, Muslim work. But this backbone support, if we put on the world, now people buy in the world a product. They said, where is it? Oh, made in Bangladesh. Beautiful country. Some of the product goes with a patch, stickers. Online they see. Everything is open. Bangladesh is beautiful. We are making beautiful product. We can beat the big one, what you mentioned.
Right.
Because we have got hands of strength. Billion hands, if I put together, if you see that China, they use those tools, ordinary people. Now they're not doing anymore.
Right.
All 2 fingers, computers. But this is the hand we can use, and we can have the largest industry in this country.
Right.
Thank you.
Mr. Nathan, are you hopeful?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you have to continue forward. You have to have hope in these situations. And so the solutions have to start at the household. And there's unfortunately great demand, but we can identify some of the so-called leverage points where a little bit of investment here has a big impact. And we're hoping that this is one of them. Even with CREL, we've expanded this model to 2 of other activities, one that works on tiger conservation and one that works with the Hilsha fish in Barasal. So we believe that this is a good model, and I go out to the field, I talk to the women who are making this stuff, and I can tell you it will make you tear up when you see that you've changed somebody's life so easily. Absolutely. Will we be doing more? Yes, we will be. So I'm very hopeful.
John, I'm going to finish with you. How hopeful you were?
I'm very hopeful. And I hope that when I started out today, I talked about partnerships. I hope that this has illustrated how you can combine passion, capacity, objectives, and foresight together in a manner that benefits people who have the greatest need for that assistance. That showed up in the film today. I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to work with my colleagues together for such an important purpose.
Thank you, John, for coming to the show. And it's been a really great experience and listening to your hopes, and I'm hopeful too. দর্শক, আমরা জানতে চাই, শুনতে চাই, শেষ করব ওনাদের মতো আমিও খুব আশাবাদী যে দক্ষিণাঞ্চল সহ সারা বাংলাদেশে যেখানে নারীরা কাজ করছে, নিজের হাতে ছোট ছোট পুতুলগুলো তৈরি করছে, সারা বিশ্বে সেগুলো চলে যাচ্ছে, সেই পুতুল বাজারজাতকরণের মাধ্যমে সেখান থেকে তারা আয় করছে, নিজেদের সংসার থেকে শুরু করে সবকিছু তারা খরচ করতে পারছে। নিজের উপর যে নির্ভরতা, যে জায়গাটি তৈরি হচ্ছে, এটি বাংলাদেশকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাবে সামনে। দেখতে থাকুন চ্যানেল 24। দেখা হবে আগামী পর্বে।